What's happening? So, another video for you on the YouTubes, but in this video I kind of wanted to go over something that, well, a client of mine asked me last week. So I'm going to go do a quick voiceover over my recent week 5 training block. Here I am hitting a 135 kilo double bench press PB, which is fantastic. But yeah, basically my client asked me, what is my workout schedule? So what's my current workout schedule? How many days am I working out? And they also asked me how many days I think they should work out. So usually when somebody asks me this, or if a client is wondering how many days they need to work out in order to get, say, the best results, the best schedule is always going to be the one that works best for you, all right? Because not everyone has the same things going on in their typical day to day. So people have different responsibilities. Other people have kids. Others are working at the weekend, and they're in college during the week. Different responsibilities, different priorities, different schedules. So it's just going to depend on, first of all, how many times can you dedicate you can go to the gym, and how many times can you go consistently. So if I was to put a gun to your head and say, get to the gym 4 times per week for 5 weeks straight, can you do that? And if the answer is hell yes, that's a good answer. If you're not so sure, probably best to pull back, maybe to 3 sessions per week. All right. And I do recommend to most of my clients at least getting in 3 times per week. Anything less than that, and I don't find that they're going to get as good a result as they could do if they're able to prioritize a little bit more time than that. But yeah, so me currently, I'm training 4 sessions per week. I'm going to pop them up on the screen here now. So as you can see, I train Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Tuesdays is an upper body session, my primary bench day, followed by upper body accessories. My Thursdays is deadlift and posterior focused work. So that's why you can actually see in the background, this is my Thursday session. So I'm hitting there my pendlay rows. I had my deadlifts. I also have belt squat, wide stance belt squat on those to replicate like my sumo stance. And Fridays, upper body accessory work. Sundays, SBD day. My squats, my heavy squats, my benches, and my deadlifts. So just wanted to run through those.
Big sip.
No! So what you just saw and heard from me was a voiceover of my last couple of sessions on that training block. So that was week 5 of the block wrapped up. And as I'm speaking, I am actually making my way to the gym a little later than expected, a little later than usual, but I'll get to that in a moment as to why I'm going at this hour. It is 6:02 p.m. It's a Monday evening, and I don't usually train on Mondays, but as I said, I'll get to that in a moment. Just to recap over the last training block, I feel that it went really well. I'm very happy with how my deadlifts are looking. Like that 3 rep max was, I wanted to say below an RP8, to be honest. I felt that it was very smooth and that it didn't take too much out of me, to be honest. The bench press, that was a personal best in itself. The bench double that I did this time last week, 135 for 2. I've never repped anything over, I think, 132 kilos. So I'm very pleased with that as well. And to top off a fantastic training block, finally getting 4 reds back on the bar for my squats for reps. So ended up with a 220 kilo triple, which is very nice indeed, and it's a sign of things to come. Just considering the fact that my peak for my last competition, which was only 16, 17 odd weeks ago, my 1 rep max that I did in my peak for that competition was 225 kg. So that kind of shows you where we are at, and it just shows the benefits of putting on weight. I'm feeling energy-wise, it's probably the best I've ever been. I feel so alert these days. I feel like I've heaps of energy even after heavy training sessions. I never feel like I'm under recovered for each session. Like, as I'm saying, I'm training a day before I usually do train. I usually train on Tuesdays, but I'm going in here now Monday evening to get it done, because tomorrow I have to go back to Portlaoise. I have a meeting, very, very, very important meeting. I know I need to head home tomorrow morning, nice and early. And I could train early in the morning, but I would literally be squeezing it in and trying to get like 90 minutes work done in less than an hour, which is not ideal, especially when I'm 8 weeks out from a competition and I want to actually put the time and energy into my sessions. So what I'm going to do instead is Monday evening, as of right now, I have the evening off, so I'm going to go in, get my gym session done, and tomorrow will be my rest day instead. I'll just get some extra steps in tomorrow, because usually on my rest days I try to get my steps up when I have a little bit more time to myself. When you have 2 hours pretty much free on a day like that, I would either get more steps in, so I go for a long walk around the block, about 45 minutes, or maybe go for a sauna session to help relax, especially after looking at the laptop, at the computer screens all day. But yeah, that's where we find ourselves. We're into a deload week now this week, just to, well, as I said, I feel fresh. I'm feeling fine, but it's kind of just like taking one step back to take 2 steps forward in this powerlifting sport, because I feel fine now, but that fatigue, it does slowly accumulate in the background without you even realizing. And the last thing you want is to come 5 weeks out from a competition and then all that fatigue kicking you at once, and then it's a rough couple of weeks, which I have been there in the past before with my hip, my lower back giving me awful trouble. And as I said, I don't want anything like that to happen, but I am much wiser this time around in comparison to where I was at in previous competitions in previous years. But yeah, as I said, everything's moving well. Going to get this gym session done nice and easy, starting bench singles now, so that's going to be very exciting, and I can't wait where this brings me within a couple of weeks from the competition. So yeah, all is muito bem, all is very good, and I look forward to this deload week and push on from there. So I'll chat to you soon.